Hi all, welcome back to Sunshine City Show. Today I want to discuss with you Melbourne, Victoria, Australia and the bombings. So throughout the world there was bombings in August, as you know, and put up that picture in a prior video and discussed it briefly. We didn't know the purpose of it. We saw that there was a bomb in every city. Melbourne, Australia was one of them. And Los Angeles was another. Beirut was another. The reason I want us to discuss this is there looked like some sort of takeover, but I wasn't sure what it was. Now I hear there's a global city initiative. And it's online, you can just Google it, Global City Initiative, and as a city, even you can just sign up right there and then. It's just so simple. And the Global City Initiative encourage privatisation, globalism, fixing racism, bigotry, and it doesn't say anything about religion whatsoever because they hate religion. And because, as you know, if the Global City Initiative, they love China. And what China loves doing, it loves putting Muslims, Christians, Tibetans, and Buddhism religion, they like putting them in prison camps because they're scared. They're scared that they'll revolt against them because China's taken over Tibet recently and they're scared. So we'll get back to the initiative. I think that those bombings are related to this global city network, that they have blackmailed and bombed these cities to get compliance, get people to join up and to get globalism started. Get globalism within democratically elected countries. And when these countries start resisting, then they can get their cities to cause havoc, like they're doing in Melbourne right now. And the people in the enemy are the people who are trying to represent truth, trying to represent protests against lockdowns. You have pregnant women being locked up, and you have Avi, protester, being slammed to the ground by the police in front of other reporters who wouldn't even publish it. They were happy to complain about it, and Avi was able to video them complaining about it, but they didn't put it in their media because, as we know, media represents lies. Media is a baseline of lies. And so the people that they're worried about are a religion because they see them as the enemy of globalism. Because what we want is we want a fair system of religion, and the only one that has even stood up for that, well, is Howard Morrison in Australia. So I guess this Melbourne thing is trying to attack Howard Morrison. And then you've got Trump in America that said he'd do that as well. And then you've got Los Angeles, you've got Portland standing up and doing riots upon riots and destroying the businesses. If you look at Portland, there was a guy that went in there, just drove around, the place is gone. And then they went out and did wildfires, started wildfires. And not only that, the Melbourne City has joined the Belt and Road Initiative with China. And also China are part of this globalism city network. And they're fully for it because China are for globalism. China have come out and they've said, we want globalism. Globalism good. Trump's trying to destroy race globalism. He's trying to start a war with us. And it came out recently in the Wuhan that they released the virus because the globalists told them to, because they want these lockdowns and they want to do these global city takeovers and start to bomb the cities when they're not complying, to force them into complying. And if you don't comply, we'll do riots and Black Lives Matter, that kind of thing, because the only riots that seem to be happening are Black Lives Matter. Yet you could be rioting against the virus. You could be rioting against the lockdown. 0.03% of people dying at the average age of 84 and going through lockdowns, losing their jobs, losing their life, our reality. And what do they do to us? They try and create an antichrist. Well, it's a group of people from Portugal. Secret Society, David Mahoney said, trying to create Joseph Gregory Harlot as the New King and Antichrist with the letter E from Sesame Street. Then it got so ridiculous they had to, the guy was connected to Centrepoint, to a pedophile camp thing, and another reason for hating Christians, I guess. But these guys are meant to be representing Christianity, because Charles gets his son on there representing Jesus Christ. Then he talks to King John III, but now he's come clean. So we've got this Antichrist stress in the end times right now. We've got a global takeover, taking cities. We've got Assange in London. They put him in a glass box at the back of court. Wake him up at 5 a.m. They give him an x-ray every morning. Then he goes into a coffin thing, into a van, taken to court. And the poor guy, representing journalism, representing truth, exposing Hillary Clinton, getting her out of there because she was a nasty piece of work. What did Hillary Clinton do? Assassinated 100 people. But, in globalism, you're allowed to do these things. You're allowed to do whatever you want. You've got a free pass. Because the only enemy in globalism is Christians. And so they're willing to assassinate Christians right now. And that's the world we live in, unfortunately. So, these global cities, they set up their private police forces, and it's part of the problem of their takeover of... Now, I don't know if it's true or not. Someone said, well, look it up, but Christchurch in New Zealand might be part of it. Could be. I mean, they had earthquakes in Christchurch. I haven't seen this city network, who's in it. I haven't seen... much at the moment. I have seen that Melbourne and Los Angeles are part of it. Watched a video, but I didn't see who the cities were. I linked on a link. It was just horrible to read the stuff. I don't know where you get the list, the city list of the people that are in this city network, this global city network. And so they're resisting democratically elected governments. They are starting to set up this global plan. And what does this global goodness do? What do they do for the world? They don't do anything for the world. They wanted war. They wanted war with Iran, Iraq, Syria. The USA war machine was all worked up. They had CIA setting up chemical weapons, saying Assad did it, but no one cares if CIA did it. No one cares. No one cares if the white hats, all working for USA, did it. No one cares about that, because America can get away with doing chemical weapons. And, with Iraq, we had Saddam Hussein taken out. And for some reasons, these guys die, but we don't really get to hear enough from them now, because there is some interviews of Saddam Hussein, and he was saying there was no nuclear weapons, and George Bush has been done for that. George Bush has always said, part of Skull and Bones has always said, world order. And that's what Skull and Bones wants, world order. And Skull and Bones, Behemoth Grove, celebrating the god, our god, Moku, the our god. And you got the Behemoth Grove Society, they're part of it as well. Then you've got all the people from social media platforms, the important people are in there too. So you got the Freemasons, who are at the bottom of the pyramid. They have the pyramid of Soros the Eye at the top. Oh, Soros is the guy in America. They've got the pyramid of the eye, evil eye at the top, and the pyramid. They've got Illuminati. They've got the Rothschilds. Apparently they reckon he's right under the evil eye, and he has the devil, Lucifer, in his own home. No one knows, because they say Rothschilds don't even leave their own home. The guy's getting quite old, and so I think this is the problem that Assange is having right now, is the Rothschilds are very, very concerned about the information that Assange has been leaking, and we're all hoping that Donald Trump represents freedom, represents truth, represents religion in the world, because no one else seems to. You got Boris in England, happy to have this vaccine. You got Trump saying he's fast-tracking the vaccines, but people keep saying, where is it? Don't worry, it's fast-tracked. So that's a good ploy to say it's fast-tracked. Hopefully, he's playing a good plan. Hopefully this QAnon movement is a good thing. But QAnon, be careful of this Joseph Gregory Hallett guy, because there's deceptions. And Charlie and David Mahoney have come out and said there's a secret society setting this Antichrist up, setting up an Antichrist, because they wanted to fulfill Revelations. And so that's the Masonic job. The Templars, they're related to the Templars, because the Templars died out in 1314. The last Grand Master died, but apparently from 1324, Freemasons have a list of Grand Masters being selected, and they have Grand Masters within their own organisation. So they have a link to the Templars, and these guys, Charlie and David Mahoney, Charlie Ward, have links to this Freemason outfit in Portugal. Now, the Portugal broke off from, well, actually the Masons broke off from the Portugal because they were doing a bloodline of the Grand Master, then his son would get the Grand Master, and it would pass down that way, and the Masons wanted to have nothing to do with that. They wanted it to be elected properly, and so they broke off. And so these ones in Portugal are representing the Antichrist, but he calls them the Saxon covert gods. It's not a good name for a group, secret society, to be calling themselves gods. So a lot wrong right now in this world, and as Elon Musk would say, we won't know reality from truth right now, and that's kind of the thing with space right now, is they can stay. Russia today saying, well, we're going to go to Mars, guys. Put on a new guy. Never put a well-known celebrity TV personality up there. Same with Sky News Australia. Put the young guy up there, and they say that we're going to space. And no one believes it in the comments section in those two, but in the liberal ones, they're very believing. And you just need to look at the astronauts in space, guys. Just look at it. Look at how their arms disappear. Look at how they float. Look at them grabbing the wires and harnesses in the video. And wake up. Wake up to the deceptions. Thank you all.